The mystery of Soul Society is about to be solved. 1,000 years before Kurosaki Ichigo was banished, a Shinigami was banished. Who is this enigmatic figure? What secrets does he hide? Let's delve into the shadows of Episode 2 and uncover the truth. Episode 13. After weeks of fighting, a sudden change came when demons stopped showing up in the world of the living. But you still didn't rest as you continue watching for any signs of demons, but nothing, and soon the days turned to weeks and week to months. This doesn't make sense. Why are the demons suddenly not showing up? Toshiro, it's possible that they have given up after all. We have been dealing with them every time they show up. Yeah, I know that, Toshiro, but this isn't normal. No, they are planning something, I know it. By Akuya, and what might that plan be if one exists? I don't know. After the meeting, you take a walk as Mina follows you, hoping to cheer you up, but all you could think about was what the demons were planning, because so far the pieces haven't fitted together. As you soon sense something and rush towards it, and see 3 demons appear, which makes you draw your Zanpakuto. So this is the living world. How boring. I have to agree, I see very little reason for our Lord send us here. He said a strong soul was here, but most of all that soul holds the final piece he needs to awaken. Hey, 3 Stooges, what is your business? This one seems to have a mouth on him, I might say, but still he doesn't seem very impressive. What do you think, Drake? Drake, remember what you were told by our Lord. Do not judge them by what you see, because I see his spirit energy and it is telling a whole different story. But tell me, Rika, what do you think? Rika, he is very cute, and his power is making me so wet with excitement. I really want to fight this handsome man. Are you kidding? This child could never satisfy need for battle. Rika, oh, and how would you know, Mako? After all, Drake lasts so much longer than you. You watch them argue. You refuse to move as Mina peek around the corner and runs to get help as you see Drake take notice of Mina, forcing you to rush at them, making him focus on you. Rika, oh yes, what power, that's the way I like it. Come on, Drake, let me have him. Drake, fine, just don't make sure it's a painless death. Rika, oh yes, let's dance, handsome. As Rika drew her Zanpakuto, it was much small. It also looked like a dagger as she swings it, but you soon notice how its smaller size makes it much easier to swing as you soon block and twist it out of her hand, sending it into the air, as she soon begins punching, showing she knew how to fight even without her weapon before she caught it. Rika, oh yes, so good. Doesn't it feel good to get down and dirty? This is true pleasure. You should follow your friend's advice and not judge a book by its cover, because you might just get a nice big surprise. Rika blushed at how bold your words were, but she was soon snapped out of it when her arm was cut off in that single moment. As blood drips onto the floor, she held her arm, but instead of screams of pain, she screams in pleasure. Rika, oh God, so good. Come on, let's have another round, and this time make that big long sword go deeper in my body. Mako, does she have to be so lewd? It's only a fight. She really does piss me off every time she speaks. Drake, she has embraced her nature after all. She is the demon of lust, just as you are the demon of wrath. You watch as she grows back her arm and takes hold of her Zanpakuto while giving it a seductive lick on the blade before rushing at you, only this time her speed was increased as she striked much faster. Drake, you see that that burst of speed is her contract in exchange for the love and desire she would be gifted with higher speed, so you see the more lust she has, the faster she is. Mako, she is just a pervert who gets off from pain. Rika, come on, give it to me. I want your love, your desire, and your blood. You block her strikes, but am starting to be pushed back. However, you start pushing back, which makes her happy to see you still had fight in you, but Drake saw something different as your eyes seem to be a mix of red and your normal eye color before you push Rika off and slash down, but Drake blocks you as he sees your eyes turn back to normal. Rika, hey, this is my fight, back off. Drake, had I not stepped in, your life would have ended. Also, I believe we have achieved our mission. So you want to go? Drake, you're going to come with us. After all, our Lord needs that final piece to awaken, so come with us. No chance in hell. Drake soon vanished as you soon block him from behind, which surprised him as you're suddenly surrounded by all 3 demons, but you're ready to fight. However, Drake steps closer as you point your sword at him. Drake, sleep. You feel drowsy but remain on your feet as he gets closer and closer, repeating the same word over and over, and by the 20th time you had finally fallen to a knee but still remain ready to fight even though your Zanpakuto felt as heavy as a rock. Drake, I must say you're very strong to resist my word 20 times, and even though you're on a knee you still have the will to fight. It's most impressive, but at the same time pointless. Now sleep. After he said it another 20 times, you finally fell asleep before he picks you up and they all prepare to leave. Mako, never seen someone resist so long against level 9. Word makes me angry just thinking about it. Drake, well, we can return no to our Lord. Rika, come, let's go. I want to get home. I need to change the sheets. Mako, did you really do that because of this kid, you pervert? Drake opens a portal as Mina and the others arrive only to see you unconscious and being taken away to the world of demons. But as Mina reached out for you, the portal closed and it vanished as she starts to cry before Ranjaku holds her like a mother. Episode 14. After you were taken by Drake, Mako and Rika. Many of the demons stopped visiting the world of the living, but Mina and the others continue searching for a way to bring you home with no success. As Mina continues trying to open a portal like Drake did. Mina, come on, just a little more. Mina was getting closer to having an open portal, but just like the others, it soon explodes as she falls to the ground as a tear falls to the ground. Mina, why can't I do it? Ranjaku, you should stop trying to force it. The power your kind has is something none of us understand, but I believe it comes in time. Mina, but we don't have time. FN is most likely in the demon world and we need to save him. Ranjaku knew Mina was not going to stop until she could bring you home, but there was so many questions left without an answer, like why were you taken? And for what reason? But Ranjaku and the other Soul Reapers had already discussed a plan which would involve the world of the living becoming a battlefield, but the way things were going it would most likely happen anyway. Ranjaku, Captain, what will become of FN? Toshiro, not really sure, most likely he'll be destroyed with rest of the demons, but Mina is another story. Since she is royalty, it would be unwise for the Soul Society to take her life. Ichigo, Toshiro, can't the Soul Society open a portal to the demon world like they did to Hueco Mundo? Toshiro, it's not as simple as that, and also how many times do I have to tell you it's Captain Hitsugaya? Yuryu, what's different about them? Byakuya, the world of demons is sealed off from space and time. Basically it exists outside of space-time, and since we have no way to travel between space and time, it remains reachable to us Soul Reapers. Yuryu, I see, so that means the demons exist within a pocket dimension with no time or space. Toshiro, because of this Soul Reapers can never reach it. Even as Zanpakuto that can cut through the dimensions wouldn't be able to reach it since it will be at a different time than us. As everyone was talking, Ranjaku sneaks away to check on Mina, but sees her sitting on the floor as tears run down her face. As Ranjaku walked closer, she soon sat next to her and held her tight. Ranjaku, I know you're worried, but FN will be fine. Mina, he won't, because he wants his soul to finish his evolution. Ranjaku, who is this he? Because so far we have no real information on this person. Mina, I don't know his name, only that he came from another land, but that's all. However, when he came we saw a sword on his hip and blood on his clothes. Ranjaku held Mina until she finally fell asleep, but still, what kind of person could be behind these acts? Because nothing made any sense, but she knew things were only getting started. To the demon world. In the almost pitch-black void which was the demon world where you were taken, you begin to wake up as you soon noticed you on your knees with your arms bound in a gant room. As you quick to notice people in the room as you spot Drake, Mako and Rika. Me, hey, let me out of these binds. Mako, not a chance, you're our leader's special prize, now shut your trap. Me, you wanna go, tough guy? Because let me tell you something, you're just a weakling compared to me, but please do release me and prove me wrong. Mako, why you little? Relax Mako, he is trying to push your buttons, he is nothing to worry about. Rika, I say let him free. Rika really wants a round too. I munch, say munch, we just munch, give him to munch master. Mako, Gino, can you please stop eating when you speak, and you Jinx, stop being a lazy bitch. Jinx, you're far too angry. You try to stand up but am soon stopped by Drake appearing behind you as you begin to feel a strong force holding you down before a large crimson crystal floats into the room. And you could almost see it pulsating as if it's a beating heart. Me, what's that? Drake, to prepare for his evolution, our master became this crystal as a form of sleep, but now he needs the power you possess to become a divine demon. You should be honored. As you look at the crystal, you soon see the person who is responsible for your banishment, as a strange black energy surrounds you, causing you immense pain as your spiritual pressure is slowly sucked away. Mie-ching. Rika, oh, I so wish I could have had more time with this one. Oh well. Drake, we might as well get comfortable because we will be here a while. Drake sat down on the floor as everyone just watched your energy slowly drain away, but even Drake could tell this would take a long time. Back to Mina. As you were being drained of your energy, the screams of your pain echo as Mina sensed your pain and shot outside to look at the sky as Ranjaku followed her. As they got outside, dark storm clouds had started to cover the once clear blue sky. Mina, he's in pain. Ranjaku, Mina, what is it? Mina, Ranjaku FN needs help now before he can no longer be saved. Mina begins to try and open a portal again, but something was different because now she was struggling to hold it together, as if to force it open as Ranjaku tries to stop her, but the force of Mina's action push her back. Mina, I refuse to lose someone who has took care of me. FN had no reason to take me in. He had no reason to treat me like family, and he had no reason to be kind towards me, so I will not lose him now. The portal starts to open as Mina begins to glow but continues to force the portal open as everyone else came outside and sees what is happening. And soon Mina opens the portal, however her body cracks and glows before it shatters to reveal a glowing form which begins to change as it soon reveals Mina's new form. Mina lets go bring FN home. As the new adult Mina leads them through the portal, Ranjiku wonders how Mina could mature in such a short time. But then again, the demon world has a different frame of time. But from the looks of it, demons mature quickly. But right now they need to focus on bringing you home. Episode 15. When we left our heroes, Mina had changed into her adult form before leading a small group to the demon world in order to rescue you from the enemy. However, at this time, you're being drained of energy as the demons watch. Mako, how much longer is this going to take? Drake, as long as it takes. This one has a much higher spirit energy than the others we have brought before our master. Remember, he actually beat Rika in combat even with her contract active. Rika, oh, it gave me so much pleasure. Jinx, why are you all so impressed by him? He's just another soul. I say we all relax. Mako, and no one asked your lazy ass. Gino, I need to grab some snacks. Drake, we have company, and it would seem a demon of high level is with them. I will remain here to guard our master. As Drake said that everyone was gone as he watched, he wonders just how far your friends would go, and if they would be willing to kill. As they all arrive in the demon world, they see it is a dark void with nothing but endless darkness. But Mina looks and sees the tower where the master will be, as well as you energy, since she can sense it. Toshiro, we must be careful. We are now in enemy territory. Mina, don't bother hiding your spiritual pressure. They know we are here, and most likely have sent their strongest fighters to our location. Yuri, then we should get moving. After saying that, the group start rushing forward, not caring if they're seen, since like Mina said, they most likely know they're there and are sending their fighters to deal with them, but they just run towards the tower as demons begin to swarm them.
Orihime samten Kesshun iri checked.
Orihime managed to use her shield to block some as Yuryu fires multiple shots from his bow as a large battle starts. Ichigo, these demons seem to be the low-level type. Mina, you're right, a single Soul Reaper would have no problem with them. Ichigo, then allow me. Ichigo readies his strike as he pulls in a massive amount of spirit energy as Zangetsu begins to glow. Ichigo Getsuga Tensho. Ichigo let loose a massive slash of spirit energy as many demons in their way begin to fall, clearing the way as they continue running before someone appears before them. Riko, look at that, I found you. Toshiro, please step aside, we have only came for the Soul Reaper you took. Rika, Soul Reaper, we never took any Soul Reaper, but we did bring a great feast for our master. That one had power that filled me with pleasure, but looking at you not so much, so get lost, little kid. Toshiro, first off, I'm not a little kid, and also you will show me respect as I am member of the 13 Court Guard Squads, captain of Squad 10 Toshiro Hitsugaya. Rika, doesn't change the fact you're weak, but you. Rika points at Ichigo as she vanished only to reappear behind him, showing her incredible speed as she licks Ichigo's cheek, causing him to jump back. Rika, oh, you have the power of a Soul Reaper, and yet it's mixed with the power of a Hollow. What are you? Ichigo, you guys keep going, I'll deal with this one. Orihime, I'll stay and give you support. Ichigo. Everyone got running as Ichigo and Orihime stand their ground ready to fight as Rika draws her Zanpakuto and rushed at Ichigo and Orihime. To the others. Ranjiku, do you think they will be okay? Their opponents seem stronger than the demons we have already faced before. Mina, they will have to fight hard if they wish to survive. The group soon runs into two more demons as Byakuya and Ikaka step forward to block their path. Gino, munch, they look taste, can I eat them? Mako, will you shut up about food? Ikaka, hey you angry guy, you're mine. Mako, what, just you please, I'm far stronger than you. Mako was soon caught by Ikaku and dragged through the air to a new location as Byakuya was left with the other one as the rest of their group continue moving. To Ikaku and Mako. Mako, you fucking bastard, how dare you? Ikaku, oh shut up, I can tell you're stronger than your friend back there, and in my squad we love to battle strong opponents. Mako and Ikaku draw their Zanpakuto and begin the battle. To Byakuya and Gino. Byakuya looked at his opponent and he was not impressed with him as he looked like someone who has never had to fight before, so Byakuya flash step behind him and goes for the kill as he swings his Zanpakuto only for Gino to block it with ease, surprising Byakuya as he jumps back. Gino, hey, do you have food? Byakuya, this is a battle, if you believe that you have time to eat then you're mistaken. Gino, oh no, you misunderstand, I am not the one who is hungry. Gino shows his Zanpakuto as he soon rushed at Byakuya, who blocks as their battle was also beginning. To the others. Ranjiku, captains, the battles have broken out. Toshiro, I know, but right now taking down the enemy comes first. Jinx, can you all just stop and die? Everyone looked at the demon, who appears without any spiritual pressure, as everyone jumps back as the demon that looked super sleepy just looks around. Jinx, can't you just leave? Rukia, I'll deal with her. The group get moving as they running as Rukia stood ready with her Zanpakuto as Jinx brings out her Zanpakuto before Rukia rushed at her. And their battle begins as the group make it to the tower. Episode 16. As the rest of the group made their way to the tower where they believe you were being held while Rika battles with Ichigo and Oraheim. Rika and Ichigo clash their swords while Oraheim provides support, however her skills are very limited as Rika managed to avoid Ichigo's attack and stabs him in the shoulder, which left Ichigo bleeding. Oraheim Kurosaki-kun Soten kiss Hun. Oraheim quickly gets to work healing Ichigo wound while Rika waits for her to finish, but she does lick the blood from her Zanpakuto and smiles, but only a slight. Rika, oh its taste, but I prefer that man's better. Oh, it was so warm, it makes me so tingle. I wonder how much the master has already taken. I would have to guess 10 of his spirit energy is gone. Ichigo quickly got back to the fight, only this time he is using his Bankai to give an edge, at least he hopes it will, as he quickly charged at Rika, who was enjoying the fight between them. Rika, come on Soul Reaper, give me your best, show me that passion of battle just like the other one did. Ichigo, you want it, well here it is. Ichigo begins to charge his spirit energy, which pulls and twists the air around as black spirit energy begins to appear, and all Rika did was smile. Rika, yes, give it to me, come on, give it to me. Ichigo gets Suga Tensho. As the raging spirit energy flies towards Rika before an explosion appears as Ichigo returns to Oraheim believing the battle was over until he was struck by a slash to the back, causing him to look back and see Rika unharmed. Oraheim, no way. Rika, if that's your best, then you're nothing but a child, a shame you looked cute, oh well. Ichigo and Oraheim watch as Rika held her Zanpakuto as the air circles around her, which also made the wind picks up. Rika, show them love, Risha. Rika's Zanpakuto transforms into its Shurikai form as Ichigo makes quick motion to block as Rika appears before him with incredible speed, giving Oraheim no time to heal Ichigo as she also gets pushed back by the force of the impact. Rika, beautiful, that power is incredible, but I'm sure you have more, so give it to me. Ichigo tries to push her back, but as he was suddenly cut all over and the top of his clothes was completely destroyed and his mask was half broken, but he was still able to use his Bankai. Ichigo, I think I understand your Zanpakuto's ability, it's able to manipulate the wind and use it like an extra sword. Rika, incredible, but tell me, are you sure its manipulation is my Zanpakuto's ability? As Rika said that, Ichigo soon feels someone stab him in the back before looking back and sees Rika, but this on was no illusion, it was real, but how could that be? He already figured out her Zanpakuto manipulates the wind, but now he was unsure as she pulls it away. Ichigo, how did you manage this little trick? Rika, sorry, no telling, but judging by your state I believe you're out of time. Ichigo used all his willpower to hold his weapon and prepares for Rika's attack, but she never moves. However, Oraheim quickly used her power and blocks her attack, giving Ichigo the chance to counter, slashing her, which made Rika jump back. Ichigo, looks like your little trick won't work. Rika smiled as Ichigo soon gets slashed across the chest as he falls to his knees as Oraheim runs over to him and tries to heal him, but Rika quickly stops her by hitting Oraheim with the back of her Zanpakuto. Ichigo, Oraheim. Rika, don't worry, she is only asleep, but I do like a good threesome, but not right now. Ichigo gets to his feet and held his weapon and rushed at Rika, catching her with a slash. However, she vanished before appearing behind Ichigo, but he blocks and they continue to counter each other, but Ichigo was at a disadvantage because of his wounds. Rika, now you're fighting like a true warrior of passion. Ichigo, I was given this power to protect my friend and family, but I will not give up until they are safe. That includes FN. Rika, I like you and your passion. Rika sheathes her Zanpakuto as Ichigo finally gives in as his injuries get the best of him, but Rika just stands back as Ichigo stumbles over Oraheim, who wakes up and starts treating his wounds. Ichigo, why do you not attack? We are both unable to fight back, but I can tell you still have some strength left. Rika, I'm the demon of lust, means I enjoy a show of passion. And your passions for this young woman is most enjoyable, never lose that, do you understand? Ichigo Kurosaki. Ichigo, you're a strange one, but that proves you have a soul of your own. Out of nowhere the sky becomes filled by a crimson light which beams from the tower as Ichigo, Oraheim and Rika look at it. Rika, the master has awakened, your friend is no more, I'm sorry. Ichigo, no, this war is not over just yet, our friend will never give up, but if you're willing, would you aid us in this battle? Rika, help you to save lover boy, how can I say no to such passion? Sure I will. With that, Ichigo, Oraheim and Rika join forces and start heading towards the tower, and they hope to save you before your time was up, but the really battle was only just beginning. Episode 17. Our focus is now shifted to the battle between Mako and Ikaku, which was a heated battle. Ikaku was battling Mako with every skill he had, but the both of them seemed to be well trained in the art of combat, as Mako shows no fear of Ikaku's strikes, which he blocks with his arm as Ikaku blocks with his sheath before both are pushed away from each other. Ikaku, I have to say you're tougher than I gave you credit for, and that little trick of yours is most impressive. Mako, you also have great skill, but I haven't even used my contract yet. Ikaku, then why don't we of Squad 11 love to have a fight to the death? To hold back is shameful. Mako, I see, let me explain then. My contract is one of rage, means the more anger I have the stronger I'll become, but I enjoy a good fight, so I plan to enjoy myself even if I must only use half my strength. Ikaku, I believe I understand. Even though you're the demon of wrath, you still wish for a battle with someone of equal strength. Then let us see which one of us will survive. Ikaku charged at Mako, who also goes in for the attack. As their weapons clash, the force of the impact was enough to shatter the ground below them, but they only continue their fight with neither one having the edge in battle. But there was soon a tip in the battle, however. This was in Mako's favor, as Ikaku's sheath begins to crack before Mako's weapon finally breaks through and cut Ikaku, forcing him to jump back. Ikaku, impressive. You might be just as strong if not strong than my captain. It's clear our level of power is too great. Mako, so you're surrendering? Ikaku, and why would I do that? This only means I have to push myself harder if I want to defeat you. Mako, I see, then let us both use our full strength. Ikaku and Mako both prepare to unleash their Shurkai as the spirit energy in the air circles, and they both unleash their Zanpakuto. Ikaku extend Hozukamar. Mako consume them with Rage Minazuka. As their weapons change forms, Ikaku rushed in only to soon get stopped by a wall of flames, but he goes round it. However, as soon as Mako noticed him, the flames shield Mako and strike Ikaku, sending him back. Ikaku, I take it that's the power of your Zanpakuto. Mako, yes, its name is Minazuka. It is a weapon of rage, as the flame destroy everything within its space, my shield and sword. Ikaku prepares to attack, but looks at his options with very little to do. His strikes will get blocked, leaving him open for a counter-attack. But he knew the only way to reach the enemy in front of him was to push through as he charged in. Mako, defend me, Minazuka. As the flames form a wall, Ikaku smiled as he thrust Hozukamara forward. But Mako was soon surprised as Ikaku's weapon pushed through and stabs Mako in the gut, which makes the flames attack Ikaku, forcing him back. Minazuka, master, are you alright? I failed to protect you. Mako, no, we never expected there to be someone crazy enough to go through you at the risk of his own weapon, but I am angry now, so let's show him our full power. The flames soon merge with Mako's body as his arms become fire itself, as he looked at Ikaku with anger and enjoyment. Mako, you're a crazy soul reaper, but also a good fight. As such, no more defense, only attack. Ikaku, that's the spirit. Ikaku and Mako begin to battle like true warriors. Mako did manage to break Ikaku's weapon, but that didn't stop Ikaku from punching Mako in the face, which he returned as they trade blows before they both get pushed back. Ikaku, you're very strong. As such, I will show you a little secret of mine, so never tell anyone you saw me do this. The wind begins to pick up as Ikaku unleashed his secret weapon, something he would never use. Ikaku Bankai. The air twists as Ikaku's Zanpakuto begins to transform into its Bankai form. Ikaku Ryuman Hozukamar. Mako, I heard rumors of a soul reaper who was not a captain having the power of Bankai, but this makes me even more angry at the fact you would hold this power back. For that, I will turn you to ash. Ikaku spins his Bankai, charging up its destructive power, which Mako allows as he charged up his own power to its max, and soon both of them were at full power before rushing at each other. Ikaku, let's go, Mako, bring it on. They clash in an explosion of pure power and flames, which soon begins to die down as the dust from their attack begin to disappear. As it did, Mako appears with his shirt destroyed, but the same could be said for Ikaku. But there was a difference. Hozukamara had returned to its sword form, meaning Ikaku had lost the battle. Ikaku, it would appear I have been defeated. As the victor of our fight, you have the right to take my life. Mako, no, I may be the demon of wrath, but I never want to kill, at least not if they are strong enough to make me use all my power. As Mako says that, he and Ikaku soon saw the sky fill with the crimson light, which Mako agrees to help him save his friend. In exchange, Ikaku must battle him again, which Ikaku agrees to as they start heading to the tower. Episode 18. As the war between Soul Reapers and demons rages on, both Rika and Mako have decided to aid the Soul Reapers, but the battle between Byakuya and Gino was just starting. Byakuya moved in quick, however Gino's body was like a sponge and just absorbed the blows without even leaving a scratch. Gino, are you done? Byakuya, I must admit I underestimated you. I believed you not to be a fighter because of your appearance, but I now see I was mistaken. Gino, oh no, you're correct, I'm no fight, just a simple demon. My contract makes me able to take all blow an enemy throws at me without any damage, for you see, I am the demon of gluttony. Byakuya only prepares his next move as he holds his Zanpakuto in front of him. Byakuya lets us see if my sword can fill your hunger. Byakuya scatters Senbon Sakura. As Byakuya unleashed the power of his Zanpakuto, Gino could only watch as the millions of blades surround him like a tornado of cherry blossom petals, but Gino also knew this was his moment to get serious as he pulls his Zanpakuto, but it was as small as a dagger. Gino devour our foes Akito. As Gino unleashed his Zanpakuto, Byakuya makes quick work to call his blades back as Gino was soon revealed. However, he was now unarmed, but he now had a strangle black orb circling around him. Byakuya, I take it that is your Zanpakuto. Gino, yes, this is my Zanpakuto, Akito. And now that I have woken him up, you're no longer going to touch me. Byakuya, we will see. Byakuya sends his Zanpakuto flying towards Gino as the black orb gets in front of him before opening up and begins to suck up Byakuya's Senbon Sakura, forcing him to pull back to save the rest of his sword. Byakuya, I believe I understand your power. You're able to consume other Zanpakutos, which most likely feed your own spirit energy. Gino, well, you're half right, but let me show you. The orb soon opens up again before the consumed parts of Senbon Sakura are sent flying at Byakuya, forcing him to block with his own Senbon Sakura, but Gino soon sucks up the parts he released. Gino, my Zanpakuto is connected to another space which I can store things and release them as I will, so to make things clear, I can eat you Zanpakuto and use it against you. Byakuya, I see that does make you most troublesome, but nevertheless, as the head of the Kuchiki clan, I will not lose to you. Byakuya begins to use his remaining blades to attack from behind where he believes Gino's had a weak spot, but soon found this to be incorrect as the orb does like it did before, and shoots out the Senbon Sakura it swallowed before to block the attack before sucking them back in, but Byakuya tries again, but the orb does the same. However, Byakuya was soon understanding his Zanpakuto's weakness. Byakuya, I will admit you're a tough opponent, but I have seen your Zanpakuto's weakness, and that means the battle is mine. Gino, I had a feeling you would. After all, you are a captain, so tell me what gave it away. Byakuya, your Zanpakuto continues to defend you by shooting out the blades of my Senbon Sakura. You consumed before instead of simply consuming them as well, which told me you must have a limit to how much your space can hold. Gino, you're correct. My Akito is a most impressive Zanpakuto. Being able to consume my opponent's own attacks and use them against them is powerful, but the amount it can handle is limited. But since your blade is physical and not energy, I can continue to use them endlessly. Byakuya, that is true, but I believe you're forgetting one important fact. A Soul Reaper can only become a captain once they have achieved another release of their Zanpakuto. Gino looked worried as he knew what Byakuya was talking about, and he knew it was going to be difficult to defend against it. Byakuya Benkai Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi. Byakuya goes on the attack, sending the millions of tiny blades circling around Gino before the blades begin to attack him, and his Zanpakuto was unable to protect him as he was cut by all the blades before Byakuya recalls his blades back, but he was surprised to see Gino still on his feet. Byakuya, I'll give you respect for being able to stand after that, but I believe the fight is over. Gino, oh no, I still have a trick up my sleeve. Gino calls his Zanpakuto to him as he holds it in his hand, and he smiled, which Byakuya noticed as his spirit energy spike, which actually concerned Byakuya. Gino, out of all the demons with sin contracts, I only rank third in power simply because my power is one of true destruction, but I am one of the few who can use a level higher than my Zanpakuto's release.
Bankai.
As Gino says that the orb cracks before shooting into the sky and explodes, but it soon reveals to have changed in something all people fear, for it was now a huge black hole as it begins to suck up everything beneath it, forcing Byakuya to grab hold of a building to prevent being sucked in. Gino, I win, Soul Reaper, and once you're gone I will go and devour your whole group. That girl with dark hair looked tasty. Hearing this, Byakuya found the strength to pull himself to the ground and use his Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi to attack, making Gino lose focus on his Bankai as the pull became weaker. Gino, where did that power come from? Byakuya, a simple answer. You dared to stay, you're going to point your blade at my one and only pride. Gino soon decides to stop as his Zanpakuto returns to sword form and falls in front of him, as did Byakuya's Zanpakuto, but Gino smiled. Gino, what a delicious battle. I have to say you sure know how to fight. As a show of respect, I will help you save that friend of yours, and knowing the others, they will most likely be here to join us soon. The sky soon lights up in a bright crimson as the strong spirit energy comes from the tower as Byakuya and Gino head towards it to meet up with the others from both sides. Episode 19. As the battle between the Soul Reapers and the demons continues, Rukia and Jinx were in the middle of their own battle, as Rukia goes for a quick strike. "Rukia, I have you." "Jinx, why do you have to be so lively?" Jinx was quick to block, however Rukia does manage to land a kick to her as she jumps back and rushed in for another attack, but Jinx just blocks her over and over. "Jinx, can't you just leave? I'm so tired." Rukia, "Not until we have rescued our friend who you all took from the world of the living." Jinx, "But the master asked for him, and you're only being annoying." Jinx soon switched her fighting style by rushing at Rukia without her Zanpakuto and begins pummeling her with knees, kicks, elbows and punches which knock Rukia back, causing her to drop her Zanpakuto. "Rukia, what the hell was that?" Jinx, "I'm the demon of sloth means I would rather relax than fight, but that only makes me a better fight because the more relaxed I am then more accurate, so all those strikes were to weak point of your body." Jinx starts walking over to her Zanpakuto and grabs it before turning to look at Rukia, who was on the ground and struggling to stand. "Jinx, it seems you already feeling the effect. I struck your legs to limit your ability to stand and you may feel a little dizzy. That's because I gave your brain a slight tap. It won't last very long, but you won't be able to stand for a little while, so I think it's over." Rukia grabs her Zanpakuto and used it to help her stand, but even though her legs did hurt, it was mostly because of her brain being rattled that standing was so difficult, as it looked like the world was spinning, but she managed to make it to her feet. "Rukia, this fight isn't over." Jinx, "I really don't see the problem in just being relaxed. Look at me, I have managed to knock you off your feet and limit your ability to stand. Maybe I should strike at your arms and make it impossible to use a sword." Jinx came rushing at Rukia, but as Rukia tries to lift her Zanpakuto, she soon finds herself on the ground thanks to her shaken brain, which made Jinx stop until Rukia gets back to her feet, which made Jinx resume her attack, but as she goes for a slice at the neck, Rukia blocks her and was still on her feet. What surprised Jinx was the fact Rukia had her eyes closed before she jumps away. "Jinx, that was a clever mover. By closing your eyes they can no longer tell if you dizzy or not, allowing you to fight like normal, and by using you other senses you eliminate the threat of being caught off guard. That is clever. Rukia, we Soul Reapers must be ready to deal with all kinds of opponents, but I must admit I was never good at fighting blind, but I will manage." Rukia takes her stance and moved quickly towards her, hoping to make the first move while keeping her eyes closed, but this made her move slower and less accurate, giving Jinx the chance to strike, but Rukia quickly switched to a block before pushing her away. Rukia danced Sodi no Shiryuki. Rukia finally released her Zanpakuto and the air begins to chill around her as Jinx thinks of her next move before rushing at her with the weapon ready to strike, but Rukia takes a stance and as Jinx watched her prepare for a counter-attack. Rukia some no Mitsukishiro. Rukia does a move which creates a circle around Jinx, which she was quick to action. However, she wasn't quick enough as a pillar of ice forms which traps Jinx's left arm, causing it to freeze before it shatters it, causing her to lose her arm. Jinx, shit, that hurts. Rukia, oh sorry, I just gave you a frostbite. Jinx goes to stand up, but Rukia flash stepped behind her which forced Jinx to block, but the lose of her arm made her slightly weaker as she struggles to hold Rukia back, who finally opens her eyes as her sense of balance was returned. Rukia, I have one. Jinx, not yet, I still have one trick left. Jinx shoves Rukia back before taking a stance where she holds her Zanpakuto by her side. Jinx, punish them, Mizaki. Jinx's weapon soon transforms into a strange gun which Jinx aims at Rukia, who quickly dodged her first shot before taking aim at Rukia again, only this time she lands a shot, and even though it didn't hurt, Rukia was suddenly overcome with pain. Rukia, what did you do? Jinx, my Zanpakuto Mizaki is able to trick my opponent mind into believing that I have hit them multiple times, so right now you must feel like I hit you 10 times, but it is limited since I'm only able to shoot it 6 times before needing to reload, but one hit is enough to deal with you. Rukia tries to move but is unable to as she sees Jinx aim at her head, most likely to end her life right there. And Rukia prepared to accept her end, but it never came, and instead the pain goes away as she looks up and saw Jinx sit next to her. Rukia, what are you doing? Jinx, I'm sitting and waiting for you because I'm lazy, so I am going to stop fighting and in exchange help you get your friend, because maybe once he is gone I will get to rest. Rukia, you're strange, but if you're willing to help I will accept your offer. Jinx helps Rukia to her feet, but as soon as Rukia stood up the sky lights up in a bright crimson glow. And this was it. All the groups knew the final battle was about to begin as each group makes their way to the tower. Episode 20. We now move on to the event leading to the crimson sky as Mina, Yuruchat, Toshiro and Ranjaku reach the top of the tower, where they are soon met by Drake, who stood in their way as they could see you being drained of your spirit energy. Drake, Mina, you have grown up since the last time I saw you, but I must ask you to return to the living world and forget this one. Mina, I know you're the demon of pride, Drake, but you need to understand something, that man is special to me. Drake, I see you have made a strong bond with him, as such I will respect your decision to fight, but no, I will not go easy on you. Mina rushed at him before going to punch him in the face, but he dodged with ease and delivers a nasty knee to her gut, sending her flying into the ceiling. But he soon caught an arrow Yuryu shot, hoping to hit a sneak attack, but it fails as Drake crushed the arrow, showing his strength, and then delivers an elbow to Chad, who was soon sent flying into Yuryu, sending them both crashing into a wall. Ranjaku, Captain, he is stronger than the other demons we have faced before. Toshiro, I know this must mean he is one of the strongest, as such we can't let our guard down. Toshiro and Ranjaku rush in, hoping to land a strike, but Drake catches them and kicks Ranjaku in the gut, sending her into the air before slamming Toshiro into the floor. But as Ranjaku falls, Drake jumps up and judo throws her onto Toshiro, cracking the floor before landing on the floor, and the scene was full of destruction. Drake, the level of power you all have is nothing but it, you should all be proud to have died as warriors. Drake was about to walk away until sounds of rubble being shifted caught his ear, and he looks over and sees Mina, Yuryu-chat, Toshiro and Ranjaku getting up a little beat up, but still able to stand, which made him turn back to them. Mina, we are not done yet. Drake, I can see that, so it seems I will need to defeat you with my Zanpakuto. Mina draws her Zanpakuto as Drake draws his. Toshiro rushed in, hoping to leave him open since Drake blocks him. However, as Ranjaku goes to cut him, Drake sidesteps her, making her miss before knocking Toshiro back with an elbow, but Mina quickly appears behind him and thrust her sword into his back and traveling through his stomach, but Drake seems unfazed by this as he grabs her and tossed her away. Drake, your skills are impressive for one so young, however I have more combat experience, which means I know how to deal with a difficult fight. Drake removes Mina's sword and held it before tossing it back to her, but this shocks everyone as he actually gave his opponent a weapon. Mina, why? Drake, as you said, I'm the demon of pride, and it would be unfair of me to attack when you have no weapon. Now stand. As Mina got to her feet, Drake took a stance ready for her to attack, but he was soon forced to block as Chad rushed in, but he didn't use his sword but his arm, and then kicks Chad in the face, sending him into a wall before cutting arrows shot by Yuryu. But even that was countered as Drake rushed in and hit him in the gut with the back of his sword, causing Yuryu to fall to the floor. Mina, tell me something, why do you follow him? Drake, we have a simple wish to live. Since the dawn of time we demons have had to hide from those who wish us harm. The Soul Society also wished for our destruction, but once he came he promised us we could live without fear. That is why we follow him. Mina knew Drake was right. The world of the living has hated demons forever, but she couldn't let the person who raised her die for their wish, because it would be unfair, so she holds her sword towards him and prepare for her attack. Drake, let us see whose goal will win this day, yours or mine. Mina rushed at Drake and they clash blades, causing small sparks as they continue to clash, but Mina had less power, which made her have a disadvantage as Drake was slowly pushing her to the ground with every swing, but Mina refused to fall as she starts to grow stronger as the walls and ceiling begin crack from the force of their strike, until Mina dodged and swings up, slashing Drake across the chest, but he was quick to knee her back. Drake, you have improved. Not only is your power getting closer to mine, but you're also able to land a strike. I must admit you make me proud and hope you're still willing to continue. Mina, Drake, you also make me proud to see the demons have a chance at a better life, but this battle must end. Drake and Mina both prepare to deliver a lethal blow to each other. However, as they got within an inch of each other, a strong spirit wave blasted them away as they look at the crystal, which glows brighter as your now lifeless body falls to the ground until the crystal cracks and explodes and emits a bright crimson light, which soon begins to die down as a person appears and walks over to you. I'm finally awake, all thanks to you, but now I'm done with you. The mystery person picks you up as the others arrive at the top of the tower, and soon see the mystery person toss your lifeless body out the window, shattering the glass as it falls into the deep black abyss below. Drake, Master, you're awake. Finally our wish can come true. Oh yes, your wish, don't worry, I will make it come true, but first. The mystery person lifts Gino, Jinx, Rika and Mako up in the air as they looked like they were being choked, which confused Drake. Drake, what are you doing? Punishment, these four have betrayed the demons and now must be destroyed. Drake knew that they had changed sides, but he could never agree with killing them, so he attacks the mystery person, who dodged with ease as his friends were released and allowed to breath, but this only made the mystery person angry that his most loyal servant would also betray him. For that you will pay with your life, but I must first deal with the Soul Society. The mystery person soon rips open a huge tear in the dimensions as the Soul Society could be seen on the other side, with many of the Soul Reapers seeing the mystery person float through the, followed by hundreds of demons ready for war. Episode 21. After reaching the demon world, Mina and her group ran into strong demons who have contracts to the sins, But even though they had made it there, it was all for nothing, as the leader of the demons had finally awakened before launching his attack on the Soul Society. Ranjika, did we just lose? Meena, no, we still have a chance to save your world. I will make him pay for what he just did. Meena gets chasing after the mystery person, following the demons flowing into the Soul Society, soon followed by her team as the other demons soon follow. Drake, we will aid you in this. After all, he has just dealt us his enemy. Toshiro, while I might not trust you, I will admit we need all the help we can get. Let's all go. The group split up, taking on the demons that follow the mystery person, as the Soul Reapers soon join the battle. To Mako. Mako was dealing with demons left and right before feeling a strong spiritual pressure, and goes to check it out, and he sees a man with long but pointy hair, and he has an eye patch plus a captain's uniform as well. Mako, I take it you're a captain. That's right, and it looks like you're a strong opponent. Why don't you come and fight me? Mako, no thanks, just helping out. After all, we have a common enemy. Mako was soon caught off guard by this strange captain as he rushed in and swings at him, forcing Mako to dodge while drawing his Zanpakuto in order to defend himself from this person. Mako, hey motherfucker, didn't you hear me? I'm an ally. So what if you're strong? I want to fight, and besides I can tell you're a warrior based on your action to dodge and make quick work to draw your weapon, so come on, let's see who is stronger. Mako, what kind of monster are you? Kenpachi, the name is Kenpachi Zaraki, and I'm the captain of Squad 11. Mako, hold on, Squad 11, that must mean you're Akaka's captain. Kenpachi, so you know Akaka, that means you're a strong opponent. If you beat him, come on, let's fight. Mako knew this was going to be a pain in the ass, but he decides to battle with Kenpachi, since he wouldn't listen as demons swarm the Soul Society. To Yuryu, Chad, and Oriheim. As they ran through the Soul Society, many demons swarm around them, but because of their expertise these seem like nothing, but the endless numbers do start to become too much. Yuryu, we need to fall back, there is too many of them. Yuryu was too focused on the demons in front of him that he didn't notice the one sneaking up behind him until Chad warns him, but it was too late. However, someone falls from the sky and kills them, only for them to see it was Rika. Oriheim, Rika, why are you here? Rika, easy, I go wherever I can feel some passion, and you three are full of it, so come on friends, let's feel that passion together. Rika soon began to cut down many more demons as Yuryu, Chad, and Oriheim provide support as they try to push forward, but at the same time all of the others were running into their own problems and allies as Meena rushed towards the mystery man, who was more focused on a single place before he blasts inside and enters. This place is so empty. Genryuci, it might seem that way to you, child, but this is where the most important meetings happen. You do well to remember that. Ahead, Captain Genryuci Yamamoto, I would say it's a pleasure, but I don't really care because you're about to die, old man. Meena, hold it. Meena arrives soon, followed by Ichigo and Drake, who have already drawn their weapons as the mystery man turns to them. You three are nothing to me, so tell me why you would wish to die so young. Ichigo, we are not going to die, but you are. After all, unless we stop you, then the Soul Society and the world of the living are going to be destroyed. Drake, I am simply trying to stop you from killing my people with this stupid war. I knew of your hatred for the Soul Reapers, but this is too far. Meena, that is why we are here, to defend the Soul Society and stop a senseless war. How stupid this war is needed. You see, if we destroy the Soul Society, your people can be left in peace, and as a god I have this right. Meena rushed in, hoping to make a scratch on him, but a strange energy surrounds her, making her unable to move before he flicks her forehead, which sends her flying into a pillar as the incredible strength shocks Ichigo and Drake, who both charge in, but their weapons are caught, and soon they are tossed into the ground that the floor shakes. What fools, but what did I expect from mortals? Genryuci, they might be fools, but they have heart unlike you. Once you're gone, I can turn my focus to the world of the living and finally achieve my goal. The mystery man goes to attack Genryuci, however Meena rushed over and stands in his way, but she was at her limit as she was bleeding from her head, and was just about able to stand as the mystery man smiled before charging a beam to destroy her and Genryuci. Now be gone. As he was about to fire, someone grabs his wrist and points it upward, sending the beam crashing through the roof, which made everyone look and see a black beam going into the sky before it disappears. You always did seem to refuse to die, even back then. Meena looks at the person holding the mystery man by the wrist as her eyes widen in shock to see the person was you, but you seem different as your hair was now white, and your 1cc had now become red as she watched you toss the mystery person into a nearby wall. Me, I have been waiting so long to pay you back for what you did back then. I'm not the only guilty party, you're also to blame. After all, had you been stronger, she might not have died. Me, and who traded her life for power because he was afraid of death. I may have once had a fear of death, but no longer I control death and life. All the power is because of the sacrifices I made, and she understood that. Me, she wanted to live, but you took that away, and I will not let her death be for nothing, as I plan to kill you here. And now so prepare for our final fight. Me, Asura, episode 22. In the last chapter, Asura had began his assault on the Soul Society, but just as he was about to kill Mina, you appear and stop him as the face-off between you two was about to begin. But to understand how all this came to be, a look at the past is needed. Your past. After the death of your friend, you began hunting the demon responsible, which was about to come to an end, as you had got a tip that a strange person had been seen in a house not far from the palace, so you had to check it out. Me, anyone here, please don't hurt me. Me, are you the demon from the lab? Kizu, yes, but I didn't kill anyone. My name is Kizu. As I step into the building, keeping my guard up, I also look for him, as I soon hear a slight creaking sound come from upstairs. As I head up, where I see he's standing by a window, as I hold my Zanpakuto up towards him. Me, you better explain, because I'm in no mood for lies now. Explain. Kizu, after I woke, I found myself strapped to a table, as this man was taking some of my blood, saying he could improve the world with this resource. Me, that man was my friend, and he died in a fire which was caused by you. Only thing I don't get is why. Kizu steps into the light, and I see he had large cuts on his body as he sat down in front of me, as I remained standing should he attack. Kizu, I was used to further his goal, but I soon heard him say the Soul Society needs an evolution, so I made an escape. However, I did try to destroy the research he did on me as to stop his plan, but then things just got out of hand. Me, you said evolution. What kind of evolution? Kizu, I'm not sure, but it does have a name, Project God. As I thought a little, everything he was saying actually fit with what Asura was aiming for, but things just don't add up. Me, tell me something. How come you still seem worried when he is dead? Kizu, because he isn't remember the other demon well. He managed to make it into a puppet ND during my escape. He switched so it would appear he died. Me, what does he need to finish this Project God? Kizu, the first part is a place in which he could draw in large amounts of spirit energy. Second is the spirit energy of someone who has a deep bond with him, and finally just time. I believe the demon world would provide the first and last parts, but I don't know how he would achieve the second part. I suddenly think, as I remember how he was becoming a little more distant towards Suki, as you sheath your sword and start running, as Kizu follows you believing he could help. Kizu, allow me to aid you in this mission. Me, fine. As we make our way to the palace, I soon see fires like there had been an attack, so I pick up the pace, as did Kizu, before we rush past the already fallen guards as we make our way to the lab. But as we got there, I see Suki on the floor and rush over to her. Me, Suki, hey, come on, open your eyes. Asura, it's pointless, her spirit energy is no longer with her. But I'm glad you could come, my friend. Me, Asura, do you know what you've done? Asura, yes, I have started my evolution, and soon you will as too. Come, we have work to do. I draw my Zanpakuto and rush at Asura full of rage as he blocks me with his sword, but I soon hit him with a punch, sending him into a wall, but this did very little. Asura, why stand with these weak people? They offer no real evolution, but we both can push our power beyond the mortal limits, and yet you still resist. Me, because I believe in people. We make mistakes and that can cost us, but they also help us learn. But you just use people to achieve your own goals. Me, and even Suki, now as a royal guard, I have a duty to defend the Soul Society, even from one of its own. Asura, such a shame. As I was about to step toward Asura, cuts explode from my body, sending blood everywhere, as I soon fall to the ground. As my life slips away, I watch as Asura makes a portal, and as it feels like time was slowing down, I force my body to stand as the pain screams for me to stop, but I keep going until I'm on my feet. Me, Asura, ha. Asura turns round just as I run my weapon through him, seeing the blood run onto my blade as he stumbles back and into the portal before my body finally quits on me, and I fall to the ground. But Kizu came to me and turns me onto my back as I feel myself become cold. Kizu, I can help you, but it would cost you. Me, do it, because I don't believe Asura is dead yet. Kizu starts to perform some kind of ritual as my body begins to heal, and I notice Kizu's was starting to fade before a beam of light covers us, and after a few seconds I wake up and see that Kizu was gone until I hear his voice, and I look round only to be told we had now become one as the royal guards surround me before the Spirit King arrives, and I explain everything. Spirit King, I see, but I'm afraid someone must be punished for this, so I hereby banish you from the Soul Society, but as a thank you for your work in defending it, I will allow you to keep your spirit energy. Me, thank you. Before I go, may I ask one last favor? The Spirit King looked at me confused as I made my request, which he granted. Before I take my leave the Soul Society for the very last time, as I set out to deal with Asura once and for all. Episode 23, back to the present. I stood looking at Asura, seeing the monster he has become as I take a step forward, only to soon appear in front of him within the blink of an eye, which shocked everyone, but Asura just smiled. Asura, it seems you have also gave up your humanity for a new power. Tell me, how does it feel to let that inner demon out? Me, I'm not like you, Asura. I chose to become like this in order to stop you, but you became this because of your fear of death. Asura and I trade a fast blow which shook the soul society as walls crack and crumble under the amapt as we begin to do a rush of punches leading to endless shaking before we finally back away from each other. Asura, I will give you credit for a newly awakened demon. Your speed and power are equal to my own, but I believe my Zanpakuto will offer me the edge in this battle. I watched as Asura pulls out his Zanpakuto and rushed at me as I also draw my Zanpakuto, which leads to a clash of steel making sparks fly as I soon look back with my eyes as I block his attack, which Asura attempted from behind, but I was quick to block. Asura and I both continue fighting as the world shook under the force of our clashes, but Asura was just about to take things to the next level as he released his Zanpakuto into its Shurkai state. Asura, drink their blood, Vlad. Asura's Zanpakuto became a bright red blade as I also released my Zanpakuto into its Shurkai form, and we start our fighting again, but I was soon forced to block multiple strikes all at once as Asura's Zanpakuto ability allows him to create a blood clone of those it has killed, hollows, soul reapers, and even Suki, as I soon see her stand next to him as Asura just smiled. Asura, look, the three of us are back together just like the old days. Me, you are a disgraceful person to use the dead to do your fighting. Asura and Suki rush at me, but I block them and knock them both away as I look at my Zanpakuto and wonder if now was the time, but I was still a little unsure because it was my last resort, but to defeat Asura I have to use everything I have, so I close my eyes and speak with Ryu. Me, Ryu, are you ready? Ryu, you have been a great master. I wish I could stay with you, but I know that this is how it will end, and I'm glad we got to see the world. Farewell, master. After I open my eyes, I look straight at Asura and Suki before holding Ryu one last time as I pour all my spirit energy into my weapon and unleash its final form. Mishukai. My spirit energy explodes out as flames surround my hands and feet before I sprout a tail before I finally had the ultimate power of any soul reaper, but this will cost me. Mi Sunwuri. Asura, so that is the legendary Shukai. It's most impressive, but it also comes at a price. Me, I'm aware, but even so the price is nothing to all the damage you will do should I fail, and as such I will not allow you to take another breath. Asura and I rush at each other, but I have no sword, only my fists. As Asura swings his blade, I thrust my fist towards his blade, and what shocked was not the fact that I had not a scratch from it, but the fact that I had actually cracked his Zanpakuto. Asura, so that power of yours is able to increase your basic abilities like strength and defense, but it also looks like you're not able to hold that power for much longer, maybe an hour, so let's see you take the full power of my godly power without a sword. Me, who said I didn't have a sword? Asura's face had a look of surprise as a sword appears in my hand, but he was soon full of fear as he knew the weapon in my hand as it was the weapon that belonged to his sister Suki, her Zanpakuto. Asura, how do you have that? Me, before my banishment I made a single request to have a Suki Zanpakuto transferred to me, and I am finally using it. This is her vengeance. I take a stance as I burst my spirit energy, putting everything I have into this single strike as Asura does the same, and we both release our attacks, but my spirit energy was stronger and breaks through, slashing him in half, which leads to his body breaking apart, and the war was over as I float down and stand before Genryuci and shake his hand as me and the other demons leave to the world of the living. World of the living? Ichigo, so what will you do now? Me, keep moving forward. The demons need a new leader, and Mina is still not ready to lead, so I will lead them until then. Ichigo, you're always welcome back here. After all, you're our friend. Me, thank you, Ichigo. After our talk, I start to float away with the other demons back to the demon world as I look back and smile before the rift closed and I look at the remains of the demon word. Mina, so are you ready for the changes to come? Me, I'm ready to start the next phase of my journey. I'm no longer a warrior but a teacher. And you, Mina, will learn to be the queen of demons, but until then I will lead them. Mina, thank you, my king. Mina gave me a peck on the cheek before flying off to help the other demons rebuild. The future was looking bright as I also start helping rebuild. The end.